Let's be real for a second. The world of men's skincare, it can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. There's so much marketing hype, a million different products, it's hard to know where to even begin. So today, we are going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to build a simple, effective, science-backed routine that actually works. Let's get right into it.
You know, this quote from dermatologist Dr. Daniel Sugai just hits the nail on the head. The whole outdated idea that skincare is just for women, it's finally on its way out. Like he says, we are normalizing skincare, and honestly, that's a huge win for any guy who just wants to look and feel his best.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about why men's skin is actually different. Then we'll dive into what I'm calling the Unbeatable Three. This is your core routine. After that, we'll look at some optional upgrades, show you how to decode those confusing product labels, and finally, wrap it all up with your action plan.
Okay, first up, skin in the game. Before you can take care of your skin properly, you gotta understand what you're working with, right? So how is a guy's skin biologically different from a woman's skin?
A lot of it really just comes down to hormones, especially testosterone. Now, on the plus side, this means men's skin is about 25% thicker and has more collagen, which is why visible signs of aging can sometimes show up a little later. But here's the trade-off. It also means you have more active oil glands, and that leads to more oil, larger pores, and makes guys more prone to getting that shiny look and, yeah, breakouts. This is exactly why a targeted routine makes such a big difference.
All right, let's get to the absolute core of this entire explainer, the Unbeatable Three. If you're totally new to this, or you just want the bare bones essentials, this part is for you. Forget all those crazy 10-step routines you see online. We're focusing on the 3 fundamentals that will make the biggest impact. And I'm serious here. If you take away only one thing today, let it be this. These 3 steps are your foundation. They're the daily habits that protect and maintain your skin's health. Everything else, it's just an optional extra. So here's the breakdown. Number 1. Cleanse. You gotta wash away the day's grime and all that excess oil. But please, step away from the bar of soap. It's way too harsh and can actually trick your skin into producing even more oil to compensate. A gentle facial cleanser is what you need. Number 2, moisturize. And yes, even if your skin is oily, a good moisturizer keeps your skin's protective barrier strong. If you're oily, go for something lightweight and oil-free. If you're on the drier side, you'll want something a bit richer. And third, the absolute MVP of the routine, protect. Putting on a broad-spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen every single morning is the single most effective anti-aging tool you have, period.
Okay, so maybe you've mastered the Unbeatable Three, and you're thinking, what's next? Well, this section is all about leveling up. Think of these as powerful but totally optional treatments for specific concerns you might have, like fine lines or clogged pores. And hey, if the basic routine is working for you, that's awesome. Stick with it. But if you're curious and you want to dial things up a notch, let's dive into a few powerhouse ingredients.
First up is vitamin C. The easiest way to think about this stuff is like a shield for your skin. It's an antioxidant serum that you put on in the morning, and it helps protect your skin from environmental damage, like pollution. It's also fantastic for brightening up your whole complexion and helping to fade any of those dark spots you might have from old breakouts or sun damage.
Next, we have the nighttime powerhouse, retinoids. Retinol is the version you'll see most often. This stuff is pretty much the gold standard for anti-aging because it literally speeds up your skin's cell turnover. What that means for you is fresher skin at the surface, which helps reduce fine lines, keep pores clear, and just improve your overall skin texture. Now, the number 1 rule with retinol is to start slow. Seriously, use it just a couple of nights a week at first to let your skin get used to it. And finally, let's talk about exfoliation. This just means clearing away the dead skin cells that can make your skin look dull. You only need to do this a few times a week. Now, there are AHAs that work on the surface, but for guys with typically oilier skin, BHAs like salicylic acid are often the way to go. Why? Because they get deep down inside your pores to clean them out, which is a game changer for preventing both acne and those super annoying ingrown hairs from shaving.
Okay, so now you know what to do, but let's talk about what to buy. Walking down the skincare aisle can feel like trying to read another language. This next part is all about making you a smarter shopper by understanding what's actually in the bottle and not just falling for the hype on the front.
Let's quickly decode some of these common terms. When you see hypoallergenic, it just means it's formulated to be less likely to cause allergies. It is absolutely not a guarantee. Dermatologist tested? That's a pretty vague marketing claim. It's not a regulated medical standard. But pay close attention to this next one.
Fragrance-free means 0 fragrances were added. Unscented, on the other hand, can mean that other chemicals were actually added to cover up a smell. So if your skin is sensitive, fragrance-free is always the safer choice.
So instead of getting suckered in by buzzwords, flip the bottle over and look for these proven ingredients. Niacinamide is great for helping control oil and strengthening your skin. Hyaluronic acid is basically a moisture magnet. It hydrates without feeling heavy or greasy. Ceramides are like the mortar between your skin cells. They lock in moisture. We already know salicylic acid is your best friend for clearing out pores, and zinc oxide is a fantastic physical ingredient in sunscreen for that broad-spectrum protection.
We've covered the why and the what, but now we're at the most important part, how to actually make all of this stick.
And honestly, this might be the single most important takeaway from our entire chat. You do not need a dozen products. The best skincare routine in the entire world is the one you will actually do. Consistency will always be complexity. A simple routine you do every single day is infinitely better than some complicated one you only do once in a while.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. Don't try to change everything overnight. Just pick one thing. Maybe it's finally swapping that bar soap for a real cleanser. Maybe it's committing to using sunscreen every single morning. Whatever it is, what's the one simple change you'll start today?